Welcome everyone to another episode of Slasher Scotty. I am your host Scotty McCoy, and boy do I have a surprise for all of you. I have on Zoom with me right now Matt Burns, and he is the producer of Killed on Arrival. Hey Matt, how are you doing?
Hey, Scotty, I'm doing good, man. How are you guys doing? I'm happy to be on the show finally.
Yes, absolutely. I'm doing great. I'm glad to have you on. I know we were scheduled for a few times, but we finally made it happen. I'm so glad I was able to get
Yay!
you on. So the first question I got for you is, how did you get your start into filmmaking?
I was working for RC Cola, aka Dr. Pepper Mountain Dew. I was walking out of the food line in Inwood, West Virginia, and an old man, and I was unbuttoning my work shirt because I had one of those like work shirts, like a mechanic would wear or whatever.
Yeah.
And I had a Plan 9 from Outer Space t-shirt on underneath it. And an old man came up to me and was like, "Hey, champ, you like Plan 9? You like Ed Wood?" I was like, yes, sir, I do. And we got talking. I was like, "Hey, this old guy knows a lot about old movies. Like, what does he need money for the bus or something? What's this guy doing?" So I'm like, "Well, it's nice to meet you, sir. I got to go." And he puts out his hand. "Nice to meet you, champ. I'm Conrad Brooks." Conrad Brooks, of course, was in Plan 9 from Outer Space and all those movies. Right. And I looked square in the face. I was like, "No, you're not." I kept walking, and he's like, "No, champ, come here." I was like, "All right." And he takes me to his car, and he has all of his stuff in the trunk. I'm like, "Holy crap, this is Conrad Brooks. That's amazing." And like I said, we walked over to Waffle House, had lunch, and I wound up being in his next movie. And I didn't really, I did that one back in 2008, 2009. Okay. And I didn't really do a whole lot after that. Nice. I kind of got out of it, kept doing the music and whatnot. But around 2014, I did my first horror convention. It was like a rock and horror convention or whatever. And then I met up with like another filmmaker named Dusty Fleischman, and was in a couple of his movies, Radioactive Flesh-Eating Foliage and Dead Men Tell No Tales. And then like I said, then met back up with Mark Byrne, who was also in the Gypsy Vampire movies as well with Conrad, and me and him, we've worked on Bigfoot, Mismatch, Remnants, and now a non-horror Brazen Impact, which is coming out next year as well. So awesome. Yeah, it's been a great run. Like I said, I've been fortunate to work with guys like Brad Twigg from Fuzzy Monkey, Dave Kerr, and of course getting ready to start doing some of my own movies as well, which is very exciting.
That's awesome. So where did the inspiration come from Killed on Arrival? And for those unaware, what is Killed on Arrival about?
Well, Killed on Arrival is kind of, a lot of people think it's a summer camp movie. It's not. It takes place at a KOA, a Campgrounds of America, that my friends own here in Maryland, and they actually have a haunted house there too. They run every Halloween called Creekside Manor. Nice. I met them way back with Conrad, actually. Speaking of which, I because Conrad used to shoot all his movies, and they're the Gypsy Vampire movies. If you ever look those up on, I think they're on Alpha Video or whatever, and they're, oh my gosh, there's something else. It's something else. You've never seen anything like this before. Let me tell you, they were wild. But yeah, so basically, like I said, it just basically was staying at a haunted house, and this is it's like a VIP Halloween getaway and whatnot. And then it's like, it turns out that these people are actually, kind of really, I don't want to give away too much, but it definitely does not go the camper's way. That's for sure. We'll just put it that way. Nice. So, it's been pretty good. Hopefully, we're gonna have a trailer up soon. Actually, a good friend of yours, Michael Taylor, is actually going to be the editor. Nice. He's actually going to be working on the trailer. Awesome. Yeah, which is fantastic. So,
that's really cool.
And shooting the movie, we have Danny Brooks. Yeah, we have Danny Brooks from Fuzzy Monkey Films and Owen Young from Bloody Summer Camp and Slasher 15 Films, who were working on it with us, which, they're both great camera guys. We couldn't ask for a better crew.
Awesome. So when and where are you going to be filming this? And is there any anticipated release dates or years?
Well, we shot a bunch of it last fall, and we're going to be shooting it again here in November. Because we can't really do it in October because they're running the haunted house Creekside Manor. Right. So unfortunately, we can't really do it with them running the haunt. But in November we pretty much have the whole month we can do it. That's when we shot last year too. Nice. So because we want to make sure continuity and whatnot's good too. You can't have bare trees and then have like bright green trees.
Absolutely.
And have people wearing jackets in one scene and shorts in the other scene.
Absolutely.
Or whatever. So yeah, so
Absolutely.
we kind of had to, we were like, okay, well, we got to shoot it in the same time. That's why we had to wait so long, unfortunately, to do it. But hopefully we can get it all done this year, because hopefully COVID doesn't rear its ugly head again, and we can get it finished this year for a next year release, for a 2022 release. I think.
Awesome, awesome. So, are you filming it in Maryland?
Yes, Williamsport,
Awesome.
Maryland,
Nice.
at the KOA. Yeah, so it's gonna be a lot of fun.
That's awesome. So, are we to expect like some creative, gory death scenes?
Oh yeah, you have to have creative, gory death scenes. Yeah, no,
Absolutely.
we've actually shot a few of the kills already with
Nice.
Julianne Prescott. She's she's well known in
Yep.
the horror community as well, and
Yeah.
she's like, yeah, she had a lot of fun working on the set, as well as Sonia Thompson from The Walking Dead. She got to do some fun stuff on set with her as well, and then also Sean C. Phillips recorded a remote role for us
Nice.
as well. So so yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We've had a lot of people have been interested, which is fantastic.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, what do you expect the hardest part about completing Killed on Arrival to be?
Getting it finished. Getting it. Isn't that the problem with every movie, man? I mean,
Yeah.
you've worked on a couple now yourself. I mean, say Sam Hain, and now yeah, and now 72 or whatever.
Yep.
It's all a matter of just it's always such a
Yeah.
such a rush to get. I mean, it's a lot of hurry up and waiting or whatever, as you well know.
Mhm.
And as I said, I mean, just getting this thing done and getting it in the can is just something that we really want to do, because again,
Yeah.
I mean, it's nothing worse than starting a movie and not finishing it. I mean, we've seen a lot of that, unfortunately, and
Absolutely.
it's
We
always
definitely
unfortunate.
have. And
Yeah.
so were there any challenges that may have postponed or delayed the production? Like what happened, like, when you waited from last year to this year? So like what was like, did COVID play a part in that, I guess is what I'm asking.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it did. Yeah, I mean, we couldn't have gotten it all done last year because of COVID and
Mhm.
whatnot. Now, I mean, I mean, we did have another big day we had scheduled. Unfortunately, got canceled because one of the folks from our set was actually on another set, and somebody
Right.
tested COVID positive or whatever, so we had to shut the whole thing down or whatever.
Yeah.
Obviously, so I mean, we should be a lot further along this thing than we are, but so it goes. I mean, you
Yeah.
can't control that. I mean, especially, I mean, it's been an uphill battle. I mean, I know, like a lot of movies. I mean, there's a lot of movies that are still not out yet. I mean, Brazen Impact, we just finished up too. The
Yeah.
action film that I just worked on. I mean, we just finished that in July, and I mean,
Mhm.
and that thing's been going on for almost 2 years now. It's just created a whole mess of challenges for everybody,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So.
Definitely. So, how do you plan on going about distribution? Do you plan on film festivals? Do you plan on going with a distribution company? Do you plan on going with self distribution, or how do you plan on going about that?
Well, it's going to depend on how the movie turns out, I guess. I know a lot of. Unfortunately, I mean, hopefully, when we release it, I mean, slasher movies will be a little more, I mean, it won't be quite as plentiful, because there's a lot of them out there, and I mean, I think a lot
Yeah.
of companies aren't really taking them right now because there's just so many or whatever. And I mean,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, self distribution obviously at first, and then I mean, do the film festival circuit and whatnot, because we already have a few film festivals that are interested in it, thankfully.
Nice.
So hopefully 2022 will be the year of Killed on Arrival. It'll be around a lot of places. So.
Right. So I always ask this to our indie filmmakers because this is a question that is important because they might not have heard it from all the other interviews, but maybe they'll come across your interview and hear about it. So obviously we know about the whole Once Upon a Nightmare shtick that happened and how that really messed up a lot of people trusting Indiegogo campaigns for small independent filmmakers. So do you have any type of advice for those people that are, say, like not as not like they don't trust as much, or they are nervous to donate to a filmmaker or back them because of like past bad eggs?
Well, just make sure that the filmmaker is reputable. That's all there is to it. I mean, just make sure that they have stuff available.
Yeah.
Like guys like Dave Kerr and Brad Twigg and Mark Byrne, and these guys that have been doing it for years. Obviously, they know what they're doing. Obviously,
Yeah.
you can trust somebody like that. I mean, where and here's the deal. I mean, you can make a movie with no budget. I mean, I think that, you know, no matter how much money you make, you should make the movie.
Yeah.
I don't believe in this, you know, I don't believe in the whole, you know, oh, we didn't raise the money, so we're not making the movie. I think that's kind of bogus. I think if you could make a movie, there's no excuse not to.
We did it with Samhain. Or Sam Hain.
Exactly.
Yep.
As I said, I mean, Remnants, the movie I worked on. You've seen it. At least you've heard about it. If you've seen it yet or not.
I have the DVD. I watched it. Yep.
Okay, I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, that movie was made for, you know, not much at all, as you could tell, or whatever. I mean, but I mean, and even it got and even it's getting distribution. We can't announce it yet, but it actually got picked up by a company, and hopefully it'll be on Prime and Tubi and places like that. So again, you know, it is possible. You just got to know where to look. It is possible. You just got to you just got to fight for it. That's all there is to it. If you believe in it, you know, if you believe in it, that's what you should do. You should fight for it. I mean,
and the thing is with like, you could tell when they don't have an Indiegogo where they don't have a budget, where compared to obviously when they don't have a budget at all. Like, for example, Samhain, you could tell that wasn't that good of a movie because we had $0 budget. It came from my paychecks. So you could tell when a movie has a budget and when it doesn't have a budget. But it doesn't mean that you can't make movie. Like, even with 72, we didn't meet our campaign. We didn't meet our goal, but we made enough money that we were able to.
But you're still going to make it. You're still making it. You're still making it. Exactly.
Yep.
Making it.
Absolutely. And that's always
fantastic. Which is fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, which is great. It's great. Like I say, yeah. I mean, you know, Absurd Production Pictures, you know, the Mark Burns company, they've never ran an Indiegogo, never, and it made 11 films. So I mean, it's just, it is. I mean, so it is possible. You just, you know, I mean, again, you just got to buckle down on it or whatever. I mean, it's hard. It's a lot harder to do, but I mean, if you, I mean, you usually you can find people if they have the same passion that you do. It's usually. I mean, a lot of these people, you know, they want to get stuff out there. They want to get stuff made. They want to be seen. Right. You know, me personally, I'd rather be seen and have something come out and be good than being paid an exorbitant amount of money for it, because I'd just rather see it get made. You know, that's my thing. But that's just me.
Yes, absolutely. So, are there any big name celebrities to expect killed on arrival, and how instrumental are they in the film?
Well, we've been talking to having someone play the lead role. Yeah, I don't want to announce them just yet because it's not final. But we are talking to somebody, and the lead role of this, the guy who basically runs the campground or whatever, is a very big part. He's the lead role or whatever, and it's very crucial to have somebody who can really pull this part off well, because it's really kind of a switcheroo type thing. I mean, you think he's one thing and he's not at all. So I mean, it definitely leaves that element of surprise and suspense, because you have to have that. I mean, you can't just. I mean, I hate movies that are too predictable. I'm sure you do too. Yeah. I mean, it's like you could. Yeah. Some of these movies you can predict in the first 5 minutes what's going to happen. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. So the last question I got for you is: are there any other projects, events, or anything else that you would like to promote to the listening viewing audience, as well as any social media accounts or websites that you'd like to plug?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I was going to say, actually, in October, I'm helping run a nonprofit haunted house, nice. Like a haunted attraction in Martinsburg, West Virginia. It's the Historic Apollo Theater, and we do the haunted theater, which is like an actual haunted maze and whatnot through the historic theater. And they also do paranormal investigations there. They're having a shadow cast of the Rocky Horror Picture Show the night before Halloween. I was going to say, I mean, and you can follow all that on it's Apollo Ween. You know, like Apollo, like the word, and then Ween. Yeah. All you gotta do is type that in, and they have a Facebook page, Instagram, ApolloWeen.com. It's that's how you can find more information. We're running the haunted event every Friday and Saturday in October. So nice. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's done historically well. Now it's been gone for a couple of years because of COVID and because of management changes and whatnot. But when it ran, it did very well. So hopefully awesome. we can find that magic again for it. And also, of course, AbsurdProductionPictures.com, Absurd Productions Pictures on Facebook too. Like I said, again, Remnants we're kind of at the end of that. We just got distribution for it. So, and then the new movie Brazen Impact is coming out next spring. Of course, again, that's a action flick. It's not really horror. Right. So I mean, because Mark likes to do different things, which is nice. I mean sometimes something which is pretty cool too. So. Yeah. And also the Nightmares on Main Street Film Festival here in Waynesboro. Waynesboro Theater is doing a lot of horror screenings next month with Scream and American Werewolf in London. What are some the Shining and Doctor Sleep? They're doing those two.
Nice.
It's going to be a lot of historic stuff. So yeah, Waynesboro Theater as well. With a RE at the end of it, Waynesboro, Pennsylvania Theater, and then of course next spring, next March, we're going to be doing probably the Nightmares on Main Street Festival again. So
Nice.
which did very well the first time. So
awesome. Well, that sounds great. Well, thank you so much, Matt, for joining me.
Absolutely. Yeah, you take it easy, Scotty. Glad I was finally on the show. And yeah, we wrapped this up in pretty good time.
Yeah, absolutely. You do. You have a great rest of your day. Okay.
You too, buddy.
All right,
Take it easy.
Yep. Bye.